Here we are.
There we are. That jam always gets me going.
It does. Well, that 30-second intro music kind of brought you down, you know.
It was centering.
And then the rock music kicked in.
That's right.
And you know when you hear that music, it
got us going.
Lancaster Connects time.
It gets the crowd going.
The live crowd, right?
That's right. The live. We are live. Hey, Lancaster and surrounding area. Just so you know, even at Gardeners, you can get your pumpkin spice kick. We stepped up the coffee creamer game. Pumpkin spice. Come get it. It's here.
I got 2 pints of pumpkin spice in here, buddy.
I'm sure you do. My goal would be to get Ben to spit out coffee through his nose on one of these shows.
It probably would happen. It's the pumpkin spice episode. Look at that.
We'll work on that.
That sounds like a Spice Girl.
Pumpkin spice.
Was there pumpkin spice?
She was in between scary and posh spice.
Yeah, that would fit.
The rarely mentioned pumpkin spice, the sixth Spice Girl on this new episode of VH1 Behind the Music.
She got fired before they made it big.
Yeah. But she actually, in a weird twist of fate, owns all of the Spice Girls IP. So I'm not going to go into the correlation there. Anyway, yeah, pumpkin spice, come get it. Totally derailed the show already.
Free coffee.
1 minute in.
Free pumpkin spice shots with every coffee.
Ben, you've got a new backyard edition this weekend.
I do.
What happened in the backyard?
A brio happened in the backyard. So I stepped up my fire pit game. I think Chris, our buddy Chris, has a photo. There it is. So Brio is a Lancaster manufacturer. They make steel fire pits. So the fire pit is actually the thing with the wood inside, right? And that fits down inside of the stone thing that I built, that stone wall. But they make an outpost grill for it, and that's the grill on top. So cooking with fire underneath, which is unpredictable, but fun nonetheless. So I had burgers, corn on the cob, baked beans, and some mushrooms. The cool thing about a Brio, and maybe they could be a podcast guest at some point. They are a Lancaster-based business, one of the first smokeless fire pits on the market, and I think one of the only ones that is manufactured in the United States. There's other smokeless fire pits out there, sold in Home Depot and Lowe's and whatnot, but they're made in China, and they're not quite as cool as this. They don't have a grill that you can attach to it, but the idea is it is completely smokeless. You have to do it correctly. You have to use dry wood. You have to use narrow pieces of wood. You have to build it just perfectly right. But you get it going, and it reburns off the smoke. The technology is pretty cool. And, it's a new addition to the backyard. And I hope to have many more fall fire pit nights with the kids, marshmallows, that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's fun.
So the real thing to do there when you're talking about marshmallows is take the graham crackers, take that grill, the mesh thing on the post.
Oh, okay.
Put the graham crackers on.
Oh, soften
chocolate,
a little bit.
The marshmallows, graham cracker.
Melt a little bit.
Flip it like a grilled cheese. Think this guy knows a little bit about eating?
You do.
Yeah.
I'm gluten-free. We've talked about this before. We are experimenting with the kids being gluten-free because gluten. I don't have a gluten intolerance, but gluten issues can sometimes be hereditary. We've always thought maybe my son, not our son, my wife Lindsay, and my son may have some gluten things as well. So we're experimenting gluten-free. So we have these gluten-free graham crackers. They're not bad, but they are a little crunchy. So you get you have the soft marshmallow, you have the really hard crunch of these like fake graham crackers. It's not bad, but I like your idea. Pre-melt the chocolate a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Soften the graham cracker.
By the way, they're not bad. That's the statement that every gluten-free person says about just about everything.
Well, the chocolate helps. The chocolate gives it the taste that
Speaking of pumpkins, I did something very rare. I got my teenage boys to do something together. They were excited about it.
Is that the rare thing?
Yeah, together and excited. And there was no fighting over which pumpkin which one of them got.
Yep.
So we did that at the campsite this weekend. It's kind of a nice little fun thing. And they had a blast.
I can't believe it's October almost.
Yeah, they had a blast. I'll have to get
pumpkins.
a photo as we get closer to Halloween. One of the fellow campers has turned their campsite into a haunted walkthrough. It looks like a miniature Jason's Woods.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So they're excited to go through that in the next week or two when it opens up. And
that's pretty cool.
Pretty neat. Pretty neat stuff. Speaking of pretty neat, you can catch this podcast, Lancaster Connects, all of our great tomfoolery. You can catch that on YouTube, on our Gardeners Mattress and More YouTube channel. You can catch it on Lancaster Connects there on that YouTube channel. I believe even on my YouTube channel, if you're Team Jeff, you would go there and watch it. On Facebook,
is there a Team Ben?
you don't get Team Ben. On Facebook, it's on both the Lancaster Connects and Gardeners channels, and also on our own Facebook pages as well. So there you go. Get all this good stuff. Hey, we've got something to talk about. We've been a part of this group now for 5 years, I believe it is. It's called Referrals Partners Plus. There's a great opportunity coming up for local businesses. If you work for a local business, you're looking to connect with other businesses, get referrals, grow your business. This is a great little referral group, it's part of a nationwide thing, but it's really nice, kind of homegrown here in Lancaster. Tony from Two Dudes Painting is really big with the group. So really has a really great local connection to help local businesses thrive. So this is our kind of like a membership drive, get new guests involved, get you to drink Kool-Aid, do all kinds of, no, just kidding. Nothing nefarious, nothing but fun.
I might have to drink Kool-Aid because there's nothing else that I can drink there.
Let's see, Mr. Gluten.
You can come see what.
This is on Wednesday, October 6th from 5:30 to 7:30. We will be having this mixer at the barn at Stoner Commons, and that's 605 Granite Run Drive. That's in Lancaster. So it's the Fruitville Pike side of Overlook Golf Course. Next to the driving range is where the barn at Stoner Commons is. It's going to be like a business networking type mixer. Get to meet current members, new guests, hand out business cards, say hello. Really, this is a great group. It's not high pressure like maybe some of the other things you might have come to know that are out there for business owners and for employees that kind of look to grow their business or help grow the business they work for. So this is a really neat opportunity. It's free to attend. If you would like to join and check that out, we'll get a link up here in the post of where to get more information. You do need to RSVP by the 30th, please. So we'll get that link up and you can check it out right there. Look, Chris from Castaway Productions is the man. He's got the link right there on the screen. He's going to put it in the chat. You can click that, sign up, and you'll have all the information for the event. Speaking of business owners, Ben, you've got a friend here.
I do.
You've got a friend in Lancaster.
Yeah. Justin and I have known each other for about 8 years now. We go to church together and formed a friendship, but he's also part of the family at Interiors Home, great furniture store here in Lancaster with roots at least 40, 50 years ago. Justin.
Hi, guys. Welcome.
How are you, Justin?
Good. Good to see you guys.
Good. Just real briefly, tell us your role with Interiors and a little bit about the organization there.
Sure. But before I do that, can I add to your s'mores conversation?
Go for it.
You need to try taking a Lancaster-made Stroopy and replacing that with a graham cracker. So take out the graham cracker, throw in a Stroopy, heat up that Stroopy on the grill like you talked about, Jeff, and then you've really got a good s'more.
Wow. Maybe that could be a contest. We could send it out to our listeners. What is the best s'mores
vessel?
The most exotic I've gotten with a s'more is put a Reese's peanut butter cup in place of the chocolate.
Why are you hitting me?
I said the wrong thing, and I felt like I should tap you.
The peanut butter cup is good. The Stroopy's better.
The Stroopy's better. All right.
But back to your question, I'm Justin Lehman. I'm the director of IT here at Interiors Home, and we're a furniture store here in Lancaster, and we have a second location up in Camp Hill. And we've been around for a little over 50 years now, so we've really been established. We love the Lancaster community, and we've been up in Greater Harrisburg area for probably about the past 10 to 15 years.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we're gonna learn a lot more about you and interiors and what you all do there. We're gonna do a quick moment and pay the bills.
Pay the bills.
Pay the bills.
Yes, pay the bills.
And Justin, we'll bring you back in just a few minutes here.
Yeah. And,
awesome. See you in a minute.
Yeah. And you might be wondering why the heck would the Gardeners guys have what you might think of a competitor on our show? We're going to talk about that. That's why this show is called The Rising Tide Lifts All Ships. Just read the screen, Jeff. It's right there. Rising Tide lifts all ships. Don't add any other words. It's pretty. Now you can hit me. There you go. Anyway, sleep better. Sleep Better tip from our book, Sleep Better. We will mail you a copy. All you need to do is go to Gardeners Mattress and More. See, I didn't even need to look at the screen. Chris is on top of it. He's great. It's not all that.com. It's gardenersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. And we'll mail you a free copy of the book. Send it out. But from page 16, sleep boosts your immune system. It's absolutely critical to our health to have our immune system working at its best around the clock in order to protect us from bacteria and viruses that we come in contact with daily. While you sleep, proteins called cytokines are released by your immune system. Some of these proteins promote sleep and fight infection or inflammation. Poor sleep decreases the number of these champion warriors working on our behalf, which leaves us more exposed to illness. Our immune system's T cells are improved with good sleep. T cells are a subtype of white blood cells that have a critical role in the immune response and fighting cancer and other life-threatening diseases. T cells activate sticky proteins called integrins that can attach to an infected cell and kill it. So good sleep can help give our immune system that knockout punch to disease. There you go. Page 16. This book, chock full of sleep tips like that, how to sleep better, develop a better sleep routine, fill out the form. Hey, Stacy Lee, thanks for tuning in. And fill out the form, and you will give us your address. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say here. Kevin, hey, Kevin.
You saw the rocket ship comment, and you
blast off. Sleep Better books for everybody. Fill out the form. We will send you a book. There you go.
All right. So second part of this little gardener segment here, we've been selling mattresses for 31 years now, right? Coming up on our anniversary. Got an anniversary event planned here for the month of October. Two of the biggest concerns we get from customers, especially when they've purchased a mattress recently and it's just not working out for them, whether it's, their own health concerns, issues, shoulders, back, hips, whatever. They buy a mattress, they invest in a mattress somewhere else, and they just don't like it. And they're kind of stuck with it, and they're hesitant to spend money on, they know they need to sleep better. They know they need a new mattress. Maybe it's 2-3 years old, but so we've addressed that. We've addressed that with our Dream Room. We've addressed that with our Comfort Exchange program. And Lois, this past weekend, purchased a mattress and gave us a review on Facebook. She says that she had significant back and hip pain. Her almost 3-year-old mattress was not helping her. But she did not want to spend much so soon for a new mattress. At her age, she was thinking might not help her. So she didn't want to invest in a second mattress, spend all this money, and just to learn that it's not going to help her again. She found the salespeople at Gardeners very helpful and professional and not at all sales aggressive. They didn't work with you, Jeff.
I could do the happy dance for everybody. Just what you think.
All right. The Dream Room afforded Lois the opportunity to try the mattress before a sizable expense was incurred. She learned she could side sleep again on both hips. So that sounds like something she couldn't do for the last 3 years, but would prefer to do. She hasn't been able to do that on her current mattress. The exchange program allows her so many days to try the new mattress. That's 120 days. And she could exchange it if she's not satisfied. So that was very helpful to her. Phil, Drew, and Andrew were each so helpful. So she did multiple visits with the store. And then, of course, the eventual dream room visit and purchase. Sounds like she worked with everybody. They were very helpful, courteous, and made every effort to address her needs and concerns. Now, I only wish I had looked into Gardner's when I purchased my current one elsewhere. So likely a chain store purchase, mattress firm, something similar to that. We often see those customers a few years after that purchase. So thank you, Lois. And again, just a couple of the unique things that we do here at Gardner's.
Yep. Speaking of unique, let's welcome back the gentleman involved with the rising tide of furniture and mattress retail here in Lancaster, Justin Lehman from Interiors. Welcome back. So, I kind of left the crowd watching, like, why would we have a competitor on the show? I think kind of unconventional wisdom, right? Like, you wouldn't do that, but we're happy to have you because, listen, these guys, we're not going to sell you a dining room table. We're not going to sell you a sofa, a recliner. What else do you all sell there, Justin? All kinds of stuff, right?
Window treatments, rugs, you name it.
Yeah, we are never selling window treatments.
No, God, no. No, I mean, look, we Gardner's, we do our thing. Interiors does a great job serving the area. So, the whole thinking here is we want to show through Lancaster Connects, bring to our watchers really kind of the best of what Lancaster has to offer in businesses, how these local businesses are succeeding on Main Street. Really this show has morphed into the battle of big versus small, out Amazoning Amazon. So Justin, share a few things like about what you're doing at Interiors to kind of win that battle.
Yeah, it's a tough battle. I think, the first key is to offer a higher level of service. We can offer things that Amazon can't offer. And one of our, strengths has been that we have free design. We have, talented, trained designers here at our store. And so we can do things that Amazon or Wayfair can't do. We can help lay out a room. We can help people choose their fabric colors. And we offer a personal connection. And I think a lot of shoppers still really want to have that personal connection with who they're shopping with, and have an individual that they can call with any other questions or any other changes they make, I think goes a long way. And so that, in addition, a big competitive advantage for us has been our delivery service. We have always delivered our own furniture. And, from as long as I can remember, we've always had people just give us rave reviews on how well our delivery guys do. And it's not like getting something from a big box where it's going to be just kind of thrown on your doorstep or just put inside your door. It's a full service. Our guys come in and treat the customers' homes like it's their own, and just take really good care of the furniture in their homes. And I think people really appreciate that.
So your design service, you'll send a designer out to the home. Is that correct?
We do. We do offer, in-home design. That's cooled down a little bit with the pandemic, but we do in-home design and room planning. So we are first full service in that matter.
That's awesome. So, for the listeners who don't know, I mean, I'm guessing most people in Lancaster have heard of Interiors or any of the previous names you've had. What's the company history?
Company history, excuse me. Yeah, so my grandparents bought the business back in 1969. So we celebrated our 50 year in 2019, and so they were Lillian and Joseph Lehman. They started it, and my grandmother Lillian was really the driving force. Despite growing up on a dairy farm, she really had a passion for style and aesthetic and for fashion. And so she had an opportunity to buy what at the time was Mellinger's Furniture in 1969. She rebranded it to Interiors 2000, which is actually funny. It's a name that a lot of people still know us by, as Interiors 2000. That really kind of registered for people. And she really brought a more upscale, more modern product to Lancaster and did really well. And at the time she purchased it, it was a 5,000 square foot store on Columbia Avenue. And we've since expanded that to 2 stores here at Lancaster and up in Camp Hill, with a total of about 100,000 square feet of showroom space and 60,000 square foot off-site warehouse. Then after my grandmother, my father and his older brother, Greg, took over the business when she passed in 1985. And Todd, my father, and Greg have run it since then and really grown the business. They've also really expanded the product offering. 2000 at the time in 1969 really screamed upscale and screamed modern. One of the reasons we kind of rebranded from that was it was passed in 2000 in the year, and also we really kind of wanted to. We were known for being really modern and being upscale, and we really have broadened our selection in a lot of ways, really expanded our price ranges. So we wanted to make sure that people knew that we had that wide range of product selection and prices.
You mentioned your father, Todd. He was scared to come on here with you. What was that? You asked him to come on, and he was like, no.
He got so scared he ran off to Florida. So I couldn't get him to dial in from Florida. He's probably on the golf course, so that's his excuse.
Yeah. That's not a bad place to be in late September in Florida, I guess. There's worse places. He's in the stage of life where he's trying to pass on as much as he can in the business.
There you go. Good for him.
So tell us a little bit about how Interiors kind of focuses back on the Lancaster community. What kind of like charity involvement, give backs does Interiors get involved with?
Sure. We do a lot of things. And number one, the first thing I always like to highlight is, we feel that the first way we can help our community is by taking good care of our employees, first of all. It's our outlook that if we take good care of our employees, if we treat them right, if we give them good benefits, give them a good work-life balance, they're going to be able to kind of spread that positivity to their own communities and the people that they're involved with. From a standpoint of giving, we've done a lot of different things over the years, but anything from giving away merchandise to donating our time. We've operated blood drives outside of our Lancaster location and tried to be a host for those. We've hosted many different events here, and we also will try to incorporate giving into some of our promotions. We've done some kind of Facebook posts where we've encouraged people to recommend a family in need of furniture and kind of use that to not only drive people to our Facebook, but use it as a way to give back to somebody. And so select a family in need and give some furniture there. And recently, for example, we did a promotion where we provided a discount to anybody who made a donation to the Mennonite Disaster Services to provide some relief for down in Louisiana. Then, in addition to that, we're part of what's called a demand response program, which basically we volunteer to cut our electricity in the event that there would be a electricity emergency, so that first responders, hospitals, et cetera, can have access to power. So we try to look for some programs like that too, where we can be involved.
That's interesting. That's one I've never heard of. Have to check that out on the show.
Yeah, it's a nice program. It's good. It's not completely altruistic. There are some advantages to us as a business for doing that, but it does also in the event there would be emergency, we are basically saying that we agree that hey, we'll shut down as much power as we can. It could be in the middle of a work day, it could be in the middle of a busy weekend, but by part of being a program, what we're committing to is hey, if that's needed, that's something we're going to do. So it's a cool program.
That's awesome.
There you go. I mean, again, this is about connecting the community, using this platform to highlight neat things. If you're listening to this, you're all interested to know, as Justin said, it's not completely altruistic. However, hey, if more business owners, if more companies are lined up to be a part of that program in a true time of need, our community will get through it. And that's important. So that's great.
Justin, when I met you, you were in the banking world, right?
Yes.
Yep.
That's right.
And you wanted to get your crazy on and sell mattresses and furniture, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So what tell us about that transition, what you were doing before and then coming really back into the family business. And of course, you were part of the family business before you were in the banking world, right?
Sure. So I started, working in the warehouse when I was 16. My dad had me and worked in the warehouse. I'd worked summers and even some evenings during high school. But one thing that my dad really did a good job of doing was making sure that me and my siblings understood that number one, we weren't expected to go into the business. That he by no means made us feel like we had to come work here. But at the same time, he also made it clear that we weren't entitled to a place in the business. He wanted us to earn a spot. He wasn't going to just make a place for us. He wanted us to get some outside experience and make sure that we could come to the business with some sort of value to the business. So out of college, I spent 8 years in banking, mostly in commercial lending. So it was a great job. I loved it. I really loved working with small business owners in that role. After the recession in 2008 and some mergers and some things like that, I just kind of decided I was ready to try something different. And the timing worked out really well. My father had a role for me that I could fit into, and he was interested in talking to me about joining the business. So the timing just worked out great, and I was able to come back to the business. So that was about 7 or 8 years ago.
So even with the family connection, you still had to earn the position. Is that right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, that was always an important thing to my dad, that we had some outside experience.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you did the delivery truck thing when you were 16 and all that. I mean, seeing that side of the business opens up your eyes to really all situations that consumers deal with and the staff deals with. And, sometimes when people have never had that experience of being on the truck and being in the customers' homes, they just miss maybe a level of detail with their customers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely, it's a great experience to get to experience as much of the business as possible. And I would encourage anybody in the business or in a family business to do the same thing. I mean, it's a great thing to understand how all those different pieces work. And it's also, it's good. One of the things I always loved about my uncle, in particular, my Uncle Greg, who worked here, is there was no job too small for him in our business. There was never a situation where he was an owner and he wasn't going to do something because he was an owner. He worked in the warehouse, and if somebody needed help on the delivery and he was the only one, he would go do it. If somebody was needed to help uncarton some furniture, he was out there helping. And so I think that kind of goes into that lesson as well, of experience that part of the business and be willing to do that, no matter what your role is. That, if I got to go help load up some furniture, fine, let's go do it. I'm happy to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, really, if you think about it, like every great American business success story, and I guess other countries' success stories in business can begin that way too. But you think of all the like Apple started in the garage type of thing. The original partners doing the selling, doing the constructing, doing the delivering. There is a uniqueness to it that you're able to bring a deeper connection to your customers. I think that's important. And again, that's what we want to highlight here with our business guests on the show is that you do have here in Lancaster some really unique businesses that are really genuinely committed not only to their craft, but to their customers and to their community. So on that note of community, why do you continue to grow, focus on the business in Lancaster? Why do you continue to invest back in your team, into your footprint, into your offerings? What do you see for the future here in town?
We think Lancaster's both a great place to live, and it's a great place to work, and it's a great place to have a business. I think there's just a lot to really love about Lancaster. I think Lancaster's really cool, and it has a really nice mix right now of tradition and innovation. It's pretty cool that in a 15-mile radius, you can visit an Amish farm, you can go to an outlet center, you can see a tech startup, and you can go to a lively, downtown. I think it's a pretty unique space that it's got all that going on at the same time. And I think you kind of get that mix of tradition and innovation in the people and their attitudes and their skills as well. A lot of, traditional values, hard work and appreciation for family. But at the same time, I think there's people in Lancaster that really want to innovate and create new things. And I think that makes it a good place to live and a good place to have a business. So we're definitely committed to continuing to grow in this community. And I think we're going to be here for a long time.
Yeah, that just like the Brio fire pit that I shared. I
Yeah.
had no clue that they were a Lancaster-based business. If you just saw an ad for them and there it is, you're like, oh, cool, smokeless fire pit. That looks good. I hate smoke and I like fire pits, so maybe I'll invest in that. But like, yeah, they're made in Gap, like right down the road, which is super cool. I never would have known that. But yeah, they innovated, really the first smokeless grill 15 minutes away from here. So COVID, last 18, 19 months, right? Crazy topic. It affected both of our businesses. We were shut down for the 2.5 months. How did you guys handle that and all of the hurdles for your customers? And of course, we've seen maybe just a small part of the supply chain challenge, but a lot of the furniture that you sell is kind of a real challenge. How are you addressing that?
Yeah, it has been a real challenge, and the two biggest parts of that challenge have been, updating customers on their orders, and then just addressing the fact that lead times have grown exponentially. It's gone from 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the manufacturer, to we're talking about literally 6 to 9 months, and so it's really been a change. And early on COVID, during the shutdown, we just really had to put a lot of focus with really trying hard to stay in communication with our customers. Even though we were shut down, making sure that they knew we were still open, we were still in contact with the manufacturers, and still trying to know what was going on and where their furniture was. We just kind of wanted people to be at ease and know that we weren't forgetting about them. And the hardest challenge really then became when we opened back up again. We would sell a piece of furniture, and it would be a manufacturer that we normally have a 4-week lead time. We would we knew that there were some concerns. We would tell the customer, 5 to 6 weeks. And then a week later, we get a call from the manufacturer and say, hey, it's going to be 8 weeks. And then a week after that, we get another call and say, hey, it's going to be 10 weeks. And so it's really hard to kind of retain a customer's confidence when you keep giving them new information. And so that was the most challenging part, because it was just a lot of things felt like they were out of our control until things really kind of started to level off. So the best thing we could do was just be very honest with customers and, let them know what the situation was. And sometimes you hate to do this, but you almost had to encourage people to talk to other furniture stores sometimes, so that they would know that it wasn't us feeding them a line. We weren't trying to blow smoke. We weren't trying to cover any of our own deficiencies. It was out of our hands. But since then, we really just learned we need to do a really, really good job these days of making sure people understand that, why the delays are there and why we can't guarantee anything. We try to show people and have patience and understanding that it's a really long wait. But the best thing you can do is, be upfront with them and then stay in contact with them. And people, as long as you're staying in contact with them, are going to feel a whole lot better. If we just ignore them for 6 months, even if we told them 6 months up front, they're not going to feel good about it. But even if we tell them 6 months, we try to keep track with them every couple of weeks to make sure they know what's going on. And that's probably been the other biggest challenge during this for us, is that our sales are actually up substantially. It's been a really good year, but we do a lot of what we call special order business. So you find something on the floor, but we're ordering it in to be made to fit your order. And so what that means is there's a large amount of open orders at any time. And because sales have grown, but lead times have grown, it basically means that our order volume is up by 7 or 8 times. And so that just means it's a whole lot more time and effort that goes into calling the manufacturers, data entry in the system, and calling to the customers. So we really had to make some changes by hiring new people, bringing more people into that process so that we can adapt and make sure that we're still meeting the customer's expectations.
So on that note of special order, custom order design, we've had, kudos, congratulations. Your business has done well, which means your team does well, which means the community does well, right? That's all great. I guess it was really since March of 2020, we've had 2 large national competitors move into town here. And I think for the sake of it, we'll leave their names out, but you know who I'm talking about. It's interesting that, you said Lancaster's an amazing place for all that it offers, all that you highlighted, and it is. And what happens is, when a market is deemed good, everybody seems to want to get in. So, Ben and I had focused conversations on the discount furniture location that was opened up, and then the other furniture location that was open, like literally like right over there.
Yep.
A good baseball arm, which I don't have any longer. This guy does. Just put on a gun show for you. Didn't you do this?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
I don't want to
there's
say it
ladies
too many
watching.
times. Facebook's algorithm might smack us down. Anyway, so these competitors, these national competitors come in, and what was your thinking when you heard the news? What did Interiors double down on? I guess is my biggest question. I know what we doubled down on, but I'll share. But you go first.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say what we doubled down on is what differentiates us. And one example, actually, early in COVID, during the shutdown, we kind of started running some different advertising campaigns that really focused on our new tagline, which is family owned and locally grown. And we started, running advertising where it wasn't promotional, but really wanted to kind of make sure that our community knew that that's who we were and that's who we are. And I think that's paid off dividends starting that early in COVID and going through. I think people really do appreciate that. And second is, our service level. We are, to bring up our design again, we have really talented people that can put together a room, that know how to match fabrics and know how to select things that meet somebody's needs. And so we feel really good about just doubling down on that and falling back on our employees and our team to help us and show what we offer that they can't get at some other big box locations.
Yeah, you kind of took our answer of focusing on service, focusing on what we do best. For us, there were a couple things. First responders needed a lot of help. We did some donations into that community.
That's awesome.
The other thing that happened, we had 2 new ones come in, but we had another big one leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yep, that helped a lot for us, I know.
Yeah. We had a little, I guess I could say it. They're out of business. They're not going to sue us. So if you go to screwedbywolf.com, you'll see a funny little thing we did when that was all in the news. There was a time, you probably heard it. Customers had deposits. This is Wolf Furniture we're talking about here. We're not taking the show political, not for our conversation. But unfortunately had people in the area that had deposits on the books, and they just kind of closed the doors and left people high and dry. So we kind of put up that site just as a quick thing to say, hey, if you've got something on deposit there that we could help here, or at the time in our other outlet location, we would really work with you to get you a very good deal, just to help you out as somebody in the community that was taken advantage of, unfortunately. And we did a little bit of business. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh, the
Joe
Tiger
Exotic?
King. Oh man.
Yeah. Don't ever test the meme game against me. I feel that I'm up there. But anyway, so yeah, we threw this up real quick, and the whole idea was we just wanted to help people, and for us, for our little store, it worked. I felt very good about what we did and the people we were able to help. I'm sure you kind of had the same, right? You probably had people come to you. Can you get me?
Yeah. We had the same situation, but it was great. It's one of those points where I know our team felt really good about being able to help people out too. It wasn't about just doing some business, because a lot of that happened when we were shut down, but we were shut down, and we'd have people calling about furniture they couldn't get from Wolf, and we'd come into the store and have people take pictures. We'd tell them what our options are, and we'd try to get something off the floor that we had available to try to help some of the people out, because there were a lot of people that really got hurt by that. It was unfortunate.
Well, and it's one of the things, not to drag up mud or anything, but I think who you buy from, and that's again another connection of why we felt it important to have Justin on from Interiors. Who you buy from is almost as important as the deal you get or what you buy. in the case of Wolf, in the case of big box competition, you're really, you're dealing with somebody far, far away, big money owned, whether that's equity bank, Wall Street owned. It is important. I have a saying around here, you can't be a 5-star company with 3-star partners. In our business, for the vendors that we do business with, and this is, Interiors has many more vendors. They've got great vendors. They've got furniture companies that I love, like Stickley. Just such a big fan of their stuff, by the way. For us, it's about having those 5-star partners. For me, what that means is I can dial these people up right now if a customer had a question, and we can get you an answer. I'm sure Interiors has the same approach. Justin, I think you could agree, just keeping control of your own ecosystem is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think Justin's ready for the connection cocktail.
The connection cocktail. Yeah, we're throwing this at our producer, Chris. Chris, we'll need a little graphic from you down the road. But for right now, we're going to test this. I'm going to test it out.
So,
okay, that sounds good.
Connection cocktail. We're going to get deeply personal with our guests. And Justin, you're first on the list.
It's not as bad as it sounds.
What is your favorite thing to do in Lancaster?
Favorite thing to do in Lancaster? I would say my favorite thing lately has been to check out all the some of the beer gardens that have been popping up. Yeah, the Bull's Head Beer Garden in Lidditz, or the Wind Ridge downtown in Lancaster. That's something we really like to do. It's nice. You can go to those places and you can relax in the afternoon. The kids can play outside a little bit and have a nice beverage. That's my favorite thing to do.
That's awesome. And actually, the question I was supposed to ask, so this is 1A. What is your favorite restaurant?
It's a really tough one because there's so many good restaurants in Lancaster that deserve a mention. But
you got to pick one.
I'm going to go with Hunger and Thirst.
They're Harrisburg Pike or
Harrisburg Pike or Avenue, whatever it is at that point. But best beer selection around. You might notice a theme there.
Beer.
Lancaster's a great place for beer. It's a great place for cocktails.
All right, last question. Turkey Hill, Sheetz, or Wawa?
That's easy. Turkey Hill.
Oh,
why?
My father grew up on the Turkey Hill Dairy.
He's a Lancaster County boy.
And I'm a Lancaster County boy, so I got to go with Turkey Hill.
Okay. Can't argue with that.
Yeah. No.
What's your choice?
Oh, well, no, I don't know that the guest is allowed to.
I don't get to ask you the question?
I'm a complicated answer. I'm a complicated fellow.
Oh.
So depending on the moment, okay, I happen to like the Turkey Hill breakfast pizza if I'm starting out my day early on the road and I got to burn a bunch of miles down the turnpike or something. If it's on the way home for maybe some beers, the fried food selection from Sheetz is very nice to kind of get over that hangover or that buzz. Not advocating for drunk driving there. Somebody else is driving. And then a Wawa toasted meatball sub.
Yeah.
Extra cheddar.
Wawa hoagie. Shorty.
Yep. Yeah, they're not nearly as great as they used to be when they did all the Boar's Head provisions, but they're still pretty darn good. So I say I'm a complicated fellow. It just depends on the activities that I'm involved in that direct my decisions.
You got to factor in Royal Farms for the chicken tenders too.
Oh my gosh!
Yes. That's worth a mention.
Yep. Is Rutter's part of the conversation at all? Is that? That's more of a York thing.
Yeah, we need guests from York County for that one.
Yeah, we got to get some opinion there.
Well, Justin, thank you so much. Hunger and Thirst, go check it out. Beer Gardens in Lancaster, check them out. And Turkey Hill, homegrown success story. We didn't mention the ice cream, but hey, the ice cream is probably pretty good too.
The ice cream's great.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, look at
Chris whipping it up. Love it. Love it.
Beautiful.
What was that drink? It was blue and.
I'm sure it's gluten-free, Ben.
It probably is.
It's right down your alley.
It is.
Yeah. So, Justin, thank you very much for joining us. We got a couple more things to do here as we wrap up, but thanks so much for joining us, folks. Again,
sure thing.
we'd love for you to check them out for their offerings. Please don't feel bad. If you need to look at a mattress from Interiors, please do that. You should. Please look at what we offer. And if you need anything else for the home, make sure to check out Interiors. I'm sure they'll take great care of you. All right?
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thank you. So as we wrap up here, just to bring it back to your attention, the Referrals Partners Plus group, that's been a good part of our success here. All the members there have taken an interest in making sure that they can refer to gardeners, and we do the same for them. So there's a great little membership event happening for the members, for guests. So if you own a business, work for a business as an employee that's kind of tasked with growing the business, this is a great opportunity. October 6th, 5:30 to 7:30, the barn at Stoner Commons. That's 605 Granite Run Drive in Lancaster.
We'll be there.
That's the Fruitville Pike side of, yes, we will be there. Fruitville Pike side of Overlook Golf Course next to the driving range. We'll have the link there in the chat for you. You need to RSVP by the 30th, so please do that. This is a free event. There'll be appetizers, beverages. Referrals Partners Plus is not a high pressure type referral group. It is about a community. It is about making great connections that last. When you think of the other options out there for you as a business owner, to say a business owner sticks with a group for 5-6 years is pretty rare. But for Referrals Partners Plus, there's a lot of great members that have been around for a long, long time. You've got big businesses in there like Two Dudes Painting. You've got smaller businesses in there. You got businesses like Gardeners in there. Great businesses. Little pat on the back there. But please check it out. We'd love for you to check that out and join everybody, all the wonderful people at Referrals Partners Plus on the 6th. All right. So that's that. One last thing, if you want to be a guest on this show, we can highlight your business. Again, if you're a local business, beating Amazon on Main Street, right? The battle of big versus small. We could talk about how you give back to Lancaster. You've got something to share with the community, or you're a charity. Again, not that there's anything wrong with the big charities, but if you're a charity, kind of like Help the Fight, North Star Initiative, smaller charities doing really great things right here in our backyard, we'd love to also have you on the show. You can go to lancasterconnects.com/guest, fill out the form, and we'll get talking and get your book to be on the show. So we'd love for you to join us. And again, as we wrap up, thank you for watching. You can do that right here on Facebook, on the Lancaster Connects channel, on the Gardeners channel, his channel, my channel, and on YouTube on the same. I think that's the show.
That's the show. It's pumpkin spice show is
pumpkin spice. You can get your little fix here too. All right. We'll see you next week. Lancaster Connects. Take care.